So we've seen how to report the measurement using significant figures. How to report one measurement, let's say one mass, one length, how to report that, we all understand. What if we have to do algebraic operations using the measurements? For example, we have to add two lengths or subtract two masses. How should we report the result? Scientifically, how should we report the result? That is what we're going to look at now, the rules for arithmetic operations with significant figures. Till now, we have been doing arithmetic operations without bothering about significant figures. Not very scientific, okay? Now, there are different rules for addition and different rules for multiplication. In fact, addition and subtraction follow the same rule. Similarly, multiplication and division also follow same kind of rules. Let's look at what those rules are. When you're adding two masses, M1 and M2, and both the masses have different number of significant figures like 2.31 and 2.9, and these are in kilograms, let's say. How should you report M1 plus M2? M1 plus M2. Should you write it as 5.21 kilograms or 5.2 kilograms? Which is the correct way? It turns out 5.2 kilograms is the right way to represent it, not 5.21. Okay, so this is correct, whereas this is wrong. You remember, significant figures tells us how accurate a result is. Now, if you're adding two things, one mass was very accurate, the second mass was not so accurate. So the accuracy of the result will be limited by the measurement which was not so accurate. And that's why we'll have to look at the accuracy of this. That means how many decimal places are there in this measurement. So the final result should retain as many decimal places as there are decimal places in the number with least decimal places. Okay, so one decimal place in this case. So the result will also have one decimal place in it. This is the rule for addition as well as subtraction. So if you're subtracting M2 from M1 or vice versa, you would have to follow the same rule. In your final result, you retain the least number of decimal places. That's all. Okay. What if we are multiplying or dividing? Let's say we have to find the area of a rectangle. The length was measured to be 3 meters and the breadth was measured as 2.2 meters. This is the breadth. We have to find the area. That means we have to multiply two numbers. We have to multiply length and breadth. But you see, the number of significant figures in this, it has only one significant figure. And we know that significant figure denotes the accuracy of measurement. Whereas the breadth, this measurement is more accurate and this measurement is having two significant figures. Now, our task is to calculate area and we would need to multiply the length with the breadth. So how many digits should we retain? How many digits after the decimal should we retain in our final result? Let's check this out. Should it be 6.6 meters square or just 6 meters square or 7 meters square or 6.60 meters square? What should it be? So this thing is decided by the significant figure, the rules for significant figures. The rule says, this is rule number 2. It says that the final result should retain as many significant figures as there are in the original number. So as many significant figures, this is the key word here. In the rule for addition and subtraction, You had as many decimal places. That's the difference. Okay, that's the difference between the two. So we would have to retain as many significant figures in the product as there are in the number with least significant figures. So that number, the number with least significant figure is length. Length has the least number of significant figures, only one. So our result will also have only one significant figure, just one significant figure. That means what? This goes out, this goes out. So which one? 6 meters square or 7 meters square? What do you think should be the answer? So now that we've decided that our result should have only one significant figure, our accurate result while multiplying was 6.6 meters square. Then in order to get only one significant figure, we would be rounding it off, rounding off rules. The rules for rounding off you've learned earlier, so just apply those rules. If you're planning to drop this 6, then you would have to add 1 here plus 1, so that will be 7 meters square. 7 meters square would be your answer. This is the scientific way to represent the area.